All right, ready, mommy? Sí. Oh. Welcome back. Welcome to the number one podcast in the world. That's actually false information, but I love spreading misinformation. That's my favorite thing ever. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bit My Tongue. For all of the people who are watching visually, hey girls, what's up? Thanks for tuning in on the YouTube channel. As you can see, we are very zoomed in on my face right now. And I keep looking over here, and you're kind of wondering, why is she, looking over here? I don't understand. Well, let me tell you, it's because we have our first guest on the podcast. You guys, I want to introduce the first and the best guest ever, because it's literally, my favorite person, and it's also the person I've known the longest. You know that they say that if you're friends with someone for more than 7 years, they're going to be in your life forever? So... we've been friends for 21 years, girl. Qué payasa.
Qué hermosa.
I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, my mother, Melissa. Meli!
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hola, mami.
Hola, mi reina.
Tengo a mi mamá en el podcast para este episodio. ¿Quién mejor que a mi mamá invitarla para platicar con ella por una hora y para hacerle pick su brain? No sé cómo se dice eso en español.
¿Cómo lo pudiéramos decir?
Pick tu brain.
Pues no sé, ¿cómo se lo pudiéramos traducir? No sé.
Pica tu cerebro. Anyways, so, yeah, hey, hi, mommy, how are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're the first guest on the podcast.
Oh, my
How do you
honor.
feel?
Happy.
I
am happy.
You are happy?
I am happy, yes.
How has your experience been in LA so far?
Great.
Really?
Yeah.
How do
nice.
you feel? Do you like it here?
You know what? At the beginning, when you just moved, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
Me too.
Yeah, too much people, and then in Texas it's a little bit different, and coming here, and then everything gets super expensive. Remember?
Yes.
Tell them.
Wait.
Tell them.
Oh my God. Okay, I remember the very first time we came to LA. I had gotten an email from my lovely manager and now my best friend Miriam. And she was like, hey, we would love to sign you, under my, our talent, something management. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's insane. That's the calls that you get when you, audition for the Disney show. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you audition, the Disney show comes to your city and you audition when you're, 10 years old. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, we have to go to California. We have to meet Miriam in person. And, if I'm signing with her, she's the one that's, she's going to help me make money, because at that point I was not making money on YouTube at all. I always used copyrighted music, and just I was not making AdSense on my YouTube, so I knew that a manager equaled making money. So I was excited. So I was like, Mom, let's go. Let's go to California right now. And so we came out here to meet my manager, and I remember our first stop, we did we rent an Airbnb?
Yes.
Did we?
Where?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember exactly where, but we were staying in, and it was just a type of a studio, because I remember that was we were walking in, it was not even the kitchen, it was just a table with two chairs, I think, or three, and then on the other small side was the kitchen, remember? And then the bed.
I honestly do not.
I have pictures. I'll find those pictures for you.
For some reason I'm blanking and I have no idea where we stayed, but I remember, I don't know, at one point we had come and we didn't have a place to stay, and we looked into staying at the Hollywood motels.
Yes.
Mama, now I know that those motels are where people go and shoot up heroin. I'm not even joking. like, those are the sketchiest hotels ever. And whenever I drive past those hotels, I'm like, I can't believe we almost stayed in one of those. Because those are, like, where people go to have sex. Like, that's where people, like, shoot drugs. Like, no one actually stays there.
And you know what? I was the one who was booking the hotel. And then in my mind, I was like, oh, Hollywood, it will be, like, probably a good area, you know?
No. Hollywood is the worst area.
Oh my God.
Like, it would have been better if we literally stayed an hour away from LA, like, in Pasadena or something. That would have been cheaper, better. But, yeah, sometimes...
And then we rent a car, remember?
No, I don't remember.
Sí, rentamos un carrito blanco. ¿No te acuerdas?
Más o menos. Me acuerdo del carro blanco, pero no me acuerdo rentarlo.
Ajá. Sí, llegamos al aeropuerto internacional de Los Ángeles. A ese llegamos. Y luego de ahí agarramos un camioncito que nos llevó a recoger el carro y rentamos un carrito chiquito blanco.
Oh my God! I remember we were walking through the lot and we were picking the car. I remember.
Aquí, yo tengo fotos. Sí,
oh my God! I remember.
I'm gonna be sharing those photos with you, so I don't know if you want.
Okay, yeah. Send them to me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then the toothpaste.
Well, anyways, okay, yeah, so I was getting to this. So the first stop that we made before we went to the Airbnb, I remember we stopped at a gas station because I forgot to get toothpaste. So I was like, okay, let me just run into the Circle K and get some toothpaste. And so I made my mom stop, and we stopped at the gas station. And I go inside, and the only toothpaste bottle that they had was like a miniature Colgate bottle, like the smallest kind. And it was like $7 for the mini Colgate.
And I gave her $10. And then when she's like, okay, this is what I got. And I was like, okay, give me the change. And she was like, the change? And yeah, $2 or $3 change. And I was like, Nailea, what happened? Te hicieron tonta. Te están cobrando de más. Es una pasta de dientes chiquita.
No, and I was like, así cuesta. Y luego me acuerdo. Sorry if we keep, for my English speakers, if your parents happen to be Hispanic, you might be able to understand us switching back and forth from English to Spanish. But if you're not, what we're saying is, I remember my mom was like, oh my God, they're ripping you off. Oh, also, I wanna preface, I'm so sorry, but we will be speaking English and Spanish throughout this episode, so I will put subtitles when we speak Spanish for anyone who doesn't understand, so you can tune into the visual version of this episode. But anyways, what my mom is saying is, she's like, oh my God, they're ripping you off. But no, the bottle was literally $7, like, because everything in LA is overpriced. And I remember my mom looking at me and being like, just remember, like, you want to live here. This is where you want to live. Remember that. $7 for a mini toothpaste. And you're like, are you sure? And I was like, I think, like, you scared me. That scared me so much when you told me that. And I was like, oh my God.
Yes. So what happened is that when I was talking to her, when she came with this idea to be moving to LA and everything, I was like,
I had a plan.
You can stay you can stay in El Paso, you know, go to UTEP or probably community college, just take a couple of classes. I can support you. I mean, you can stay at home. I can give you privacy, but nothing about bringing kids to our house or anything crazy like that, you know. But
like not getting pregnant, me not getting pregnant, is that what you're saying?
No, more than anything about, like, before you move here, in my mind I was like, if she can stay in El Paso and work in whatever you want to work, I mean, I can support you, right? Because my concern was, like, she's gonna be moving to LA. Financially, I cannot help her. Oh, yeah. Like, you know, paying, like...
I remember that. I remember that was a conversation my mom and I had. Holy shit, I totally forgot about that. But I remember when I first was moving to LA, my mom was like, I can't support you financially, so you will have to pay for everything on your own. And I remember making, like, a whole, like, Excel sheet of how much I would be spending on food, gas, like, apartments, and, like, being like, okay, I think I can afford it. Like, I got it. Like, I think I got it. I'm gonna pay for this for my half of the rent. Like, my roommate will pay for the other half. And I was, like, kind of, like, hustling. Like, I was, like, putting it together. I was organized. I wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to LA, Mom. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go follow my dreams. Like, could you imagine? No, yeah. I feel like that would be, there's a lot of people who do that. And I'm like, oh, how do you do that? But anyways, I do remember that. Anyway, so fast forward, we're here in the Walgreens parking lot on my podcast.
And this is an entire setting.
I know,
Like
yeah.
every time that I see your podcast, I can
Sorry.
see Nailea, and she's like,
If you want to
talking.
look at that camera, sorry.
Okay,
Look at that camera.
This one.
Okay, let's say it again.
This is so cool because when she's like, talking in the podcast and everything, I can see her like she's moving around, like, doing like eye contact. And I was like thinking, oh, maybe she have like a 360 camera.
What?
If that is a thing.
Wait, how?
I don't know. Like, probably, I thought that you might have like a camera that it's like following you.
Okay.
That like you were like moving and the camera is like moving around.
Uh-huh.
But guys, it's an entire setting. Like she have 3 cameras. She have one here, and then this one right here, and then she have like this one here, and then she have like a connector with a bunch of cables, and then the 2 mics, and then she have another camera here,
Yeah.
and then her cell phone because she used the phone, as
Yeah.
a recording.
I think it
device.
took me a good like 35 minutes to set this up.
Yeah.
I have a routine before I record this episode, or before I record my podcast episodes. I go to the McDonald's, I get some fries, I get a coffee, and then as I'm setting up, I'm drinking my coffee, I'm eating my fries. So I'm not grouchy because setting up annoys me. Like, it's a process. So I eat my snack while I'm setting up, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass. That's why people usually have like producers when they have podcasts. Like, they do it on sets, and they have producers and people who set everything up for them.
Because it's not only like about making all the settings, it's about checking the equipment. Like we were on her apartment right now, and she was like with a bunch of boxes and cables, and then she was just checking each of the cameras, and then when she was like, putting in place this one, she was like outside the car making sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the
an
whole thing.
entire thing. And I never thought about that.
Really?
Yeah, because when you're watching like your podcast, it's just like sitting down with your phone and just watching, but you never, I never imagined like the behind scenes about everything,
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I like recording in my car because it just feels like more comfortable, right? Imagine if we were on a set right now, like far apart with like ring lights. You would feel so much more pressure, like, to speak. But right now it's just like
it's natural.
Yeah.
It's like like having a conversation one-on-one without thinking that probably couple of people is gonna be watching you or whatever. It's just like more one-on-one.
And that's the thing that I feel like I didn't like, because I don't know if I ever told you this, Mom, but I've been working on like filming or creating a podcast for a while now. Like, it's been like 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember that the first one was going to be called Nice Green Couch. Do you remember that?
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I think I remember something about the green couch.
Yes.
Yes.
I had like a whole animation made.
Oh, well, let me tell you guys what happened is that this little one, she's really quiet. Like, she's not
You're
not
funny,
the type of daughters that it's like go with mom and tell her like everything that she's thinking about, everything that she's doing.
Move in silence. You got to move in silence.
She is like that. She really is. So
Because
like,
I feel like if you just like I feel like saying it out loud, you almost like, I don't know, you're like, people can put their thoughts and opinions onto it and like make you feel different about it. They can fuck up the idea that you have in your head. Not even that, but also I feel like when you don't tell anyone, you feel so much more encouraged to do it because you're the only one reminding yourself. You're like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, we're gonna do this. And like, telling people once it's done, I feel like, I don't know, it works for the way my brain works. Pero más que nada es porque la gente te echa mala vibra.
Sí.
Y yo siempre he creído eso. O sea, siempre que le digo a alguien que, ay, quiero esto o el otro, me echan la mala vibra.
No.
La vibra.
Vibra.
Me echan la mala vibra y nunca pasa.
Y es que aparte yo sí creo, chicos, que cuando tienen un plan en mente, no le digan a nadie. Ustedes traigan su plan en mente, rodéense de gente inteligente que les va a poder dar un buen consejo, y de ahí ustedes toman acción y lo hacen. Y aparte es muchísimo mejor sorprender a la gente de decirles poco a poquito, estoy haciendo algo, pero no les voy a decir qué es. O de repente llegar y, como Nailea me dice, mamá, mi podcast. Y yo, ¿de qué me estás hablando? ¿Cuál podcast? Lo mismo pasó con Revlon. Mamá, Revlon. Y yo, Revlon.
Es porque no lo creía, no sabía que estaba pasando. Es porque también no lo creo que va a pasar y luego pasa. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell. Pero anyways, going back to what we were saying. Tú eres así también, ¿sí sabes? You're also like that.
Sí.
You are like that, like
Yes,
when
I
you're
am.
working towards something.
Yes, I am like that. When I am like having an idea about like the way that I want to keep moving forward with my career, it's like, okay, this is what I want to do, but I don't say anything, and I just start taking action. And then when happens, it's like, hey, this happened to me, but it's something that I already have in my mind, like working on that, you know. Yeah, I really think about the vibe. I really think about like
La vibra. They fuck up the vibra. Like, it's not worth it. That's why I just keep move in silence. I always tell my friends that move in silence. But anyways, I was gonna say, so I had been working on this podcast for a while now, and the original one was gonna be called something else, and it was like surrounding a place in my home. Like, I would be recording it in my apartment, and so initially the studio was gonna be set up like a studio. Like, I remember I had a whole production company helping me like with this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, they was like 3 guys. They came in, they set up like two lights in my living room, and they'd set up the cameras. They had like 3 cameras. Like, it was a whole thing, and I paid money for that setup. And the guy was there like monitoring me as I spoke, and like I was in my apartment, but I didn't feel comfortable. Like, I was like, this feels like I'm putting on a show, and I have to do more than I want to do. So it just wasn't working, and I struggled to like record for an hour long. Like I was like talking for an hour felt impossible. But I feel like when I'm in my car, like I spend so much time in my car that I'm like, oh, I can talk about everything, and I feel safe, and I'm comfy, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
and then right now, everything, it's about technology, right? It's just technology here, there. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do now with technology. And this is my own personal opinion, that when you try to stay like natural and try to do things like old-fashioned way, I don't know, everything comes like better, right? Like, okay, yeah, I have a podcast, but I am not recording on in a studio. And if I have a guest, it will be on my car, one-on-one, more private.
And also, like, we've spent time in this car for the last like week together, just like laughing and being silly and driving around and singing. So it's just the same thing. It's like the same vibe, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, this, my mom and I could talk forever and ever.
Yes.
Mi abuelita pudiera hablar para siempre.
Mi madre santa habla, pero o sea, no, ni siquiera te deja contestar, donde ya te está diciendo otra cosa y otra cosa y otra cosa.
Bueno, ok, te quería hacer algunas preguntas primero quiero hablar de nuestra relación, Madre Santa. Quiero hablar poquito de cómo era yo, o sea, creciendo, y cómo era de niña. And if you see like traits in myself, I'm saying it in English as well. I want to know what I was like growing up as like a child, and just growing up in general, and if you see any traits that when I was like little in me now, because I feel like I kind of know how I was as a kid, but I don't really know how I was. And like, you've seen me for like 21 years. Like, you've seen me like evolve. Am I the same? Am I different? Like, I feel like I've always been like a really shy kid, right? And like, I feel like I'm still shy, but I also feel like I've kind of broken out of this shell a little bit.
A little bit, yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Tell me.
Well, what can I say? You were like all the time like a really good kid.
Really?
I never ever had a problem at school, like from
Yo
elementary.
siempre me recuerdo que me renegabas. Me acuerdo que cuando estaba en la primaria, que los peleábamos en la mañana, y yo te hablaba desde la oficina de las maestras, y te hablaba llorando. Algunas veces no me contestabas, y todo el día triste, agüitada porque no me contestaste la llamada.
¿De veras?
Una vez no me contestaste la llamada porque siempre me contestabas la llamada. Teníamos una rutina. Me despertaba, peleábamos de algo, Literal tenía 6 años, o sea, ni sé de qué peleábamos.
Ajá.
Te hacía enojar, me
Ajá.
acuerdo, yo hacía algo mal y te hacía enojar, y luego me dejabas en la escuela súper temprano, y después de que peleábamos,
Sí.
I would rush to like the front office, and I'd ask the attendance lady, and I'd be like, can I call my mom? And she was like, yep, go to the back. And I would go to the back, and I would call you at 6 years old every morning without fail. And I'd be like, mami, I'm sorry whatever I did. No sé si te hice enojar, discúlpame, mami. Tú, sí, mija, está bien. Y yo, okay. Y una vez no me contestaste.
¿Y luego
Y estaba súper agitada todo el día.
Ay, no es cierto, Nailea, todo el día.
Todo el día.
Hasta que llegué por ti a la guardería.
Todo el día. Pues obviamente se me quitó en tiempos, pero sí estaba agitada.
Sí. Okay, so I was working in El Paso County, right? And they were like super strict when it comes to like being at work at 8. So at 8 in the morning, you need to be like all hands on deck, you know, like with your computer ready and everything.
Yeah, you had to be super punctual.
Yes. So I remember one time that I was getting late. I was getting into my actual seat at 8:01. And then my supervisor, she was like, you are, and then with her finger, she was like, you are 1 minute late.
Oh,
Te lo juro que sí, cómo no. You are 1 minute late. Next time that you're getting, late, I am going to like write you up. And I was like, okay. So I was working, I was like waking up super early every morning. And then I was waking up Nailea every morning, like she was like having breakfast and everything. So I was having like hard time all the time to wake her up in the mornings.
Mom, I know. You weren't, we would fight about something silly. I think it was literally just the fact that we would be late, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it always that?
Sí.
Oh, really?
Sí.
No way. I've been,
Siempre.
te he estado dando carrilla por estar tarde desde chiquita.
Siempre.
No manches.
Siempre.
Y todavía estoy así.
Siempre.
Maybe, do you think, like, low-key, you're born with a personality? Because what do you mean I've been late since I was, like, 5? I've been late since I was 5 years old, and I'm still at my grown age at 21. I'm still, struggling with being on time.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah. Oh, definitely. You have like your mom genes, your dad genes, and of course you develop your own personality as well. Of course, definitely.
That's the one thing that I really struggle with.
But the important thing is that recognize when you're doing something that is not right, or that you need to work on that, and then work on that, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Every time we're not fight. Please don't think that they were like fighting. I was like,
no.
apúrate, se nos va a hacer tarde, mocosa.
I know.
Y todavía te tengo que peinar. Y tienes que almorzar. You know?
No, yeah. But what's it called?
Because I was doing her hair like all the time, like either 2 ponytails with a nice bow or just 1 ponytail.
You did slay the hairstyles
all the time.
You would slay
I
down.
was iron her
You've
clothes.
always known how to do hair. How do you know how to do hair?
I don't know. You know what? My mom used to do my hair all the time. I never was
I feel like it's like a part of the Mexican gene.
Probably.
Because y'all know how to slick a ponytail back.
Let me tell you. And back in the day, the hairspray was not like a big thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have hairspray, you will put a little drops of lemon in your hand, and then with lemon and water.
No way.
I promise, and that's it. Ahí está su spray para el pelo. Agua con limón. Órale. De veras. Sí.
Oye, es como te digo que tengo que cambiar la batería de la cámara. Otra vez.
Bueno, pues cámbiala.
Mientras que esté cambiando esta cámara aquí, todavía tenemos estas dos acá.
Okay.
Entonces mi mamá les va a contar una historia.
¿De qué?
Te dejo con una pregunta.
A ver.
¿Qué opinas? Estoy haciéndolo Google para que lo pueda decir bien.
O sea, ¿me quieres hacer toda la pregunta en español?
Sí, I'm on Google Translate right now. I'm on Google Translate right now so I can
funny story.
Do this question ask my mom a question.
Nailea was speaking Spanish all the time. English was her second language, or is her second language, of course. And I remember that when she was growing up and she was trying to speak English, she was saying funny things. She was twisting, the words. And And she really speaks really good Spanish, but I don't know why she gets like nervous when she's talking.
I don't know either. Te dejo con una pregunta.
A ver.
Mamá, ¿qué piensas del sexo antes del matrimonio?
¿Por qué me preguntas eso? Ya sabes, ¿por qué me preguntas eso?
Because my mom is such a prude. She's like, close your eyes. Like, to this day, like, a kissing scene will come on, and she's like, I'm like, Mom, it's really not that deep. Like, it's not that serious.
But you know what? It's more than anything that it's what?
Se prendió de nuevo.
Sí, es cierto.
There is a ghost in this
pero ya
car.
no tienes pila de
There's a
todas
killer in the car.
Ándale, cámbiala.
Okay. Te dejo con esa pregunta. You can answer. Tell the people what you think.
I don't know. You know, times now it's totally different. Back on the day, it was like trying to do like, you know.
Mom, hold on. Okay, wait. Hold on. I'm gonna take a moment I'm gonna take a moment from setting up the camera to show you guys this TikTok. I sent my friend a TikTok as a joke of two people like pretend dancing with one another, and the caption was like, this is how our parents flirted back in the 90s. I show my mom the TikTok, and she's like, yeah, that's totally true. That's how I danced. And it's a meme, Mom. They're like joking.
Pero es que sí baila. Bueno, a verlo. Es el que me enseñaste el otro día. A verlo.
No manches tú. Es totally true. Mamá, no manches que eso es verdad. Eso es tu normal. ¿Cómo puede ser?
A verlo.
Esto así bailaban en los clubs.
Así bailábamos.
What if you were trying to throw it back on someone?
¿Cómo? Así bailábamos.
How do you throw it back on someone?
¿Qué es eso? Throwback. ¿Qué es eso?
¿Sabes cómo ahora perrean? La gente perrea.
Antes no perreábamos.
¿Cómo se perrea? Con eso, así como...
Pues no perreabas, antes no perreabas. Eso no era una cosa. It was not a thing back in the 90s and the 80s. You were like dancing, like making your moves, you know? But not like...
When I watched that TikTok, I was like, they're dancing like cartoon characters. That's so funny. And when I showed it to you, you were like, no, that's how we dance.
Yes, you were not doing like crazy stuff like now in the days. You were like just moving, you know, and then, I don't know, maybe he was making the same moves as you, but that's it.
This second one, no, that's not the crazy one. That's crazy.
¿Qué, con los pies? But that's true. I mean, you know.
Anyways, yeah, I feel like our generation, as we've gotten older, or like I feel like as the generations have changed, I feel like it's like escalatingly like gotten more sensual, don't you think? Like, maybe back, I mean, I think that's a fact, but, like, back in the old days, like, everyone was super, like, polite, and, you can't leave the house, like, showing underwear, like, that's so,
yeah, so,
and, like, nowadays, I feel like it's just only gotten, like,
yeah,
more
so
and
back
more.
in the days, like, hey, se te ven los calzones, devuélvete,
yeah.
You know, or the bra, devuélvete y ponte otra blusa.
Yeah.
It was a little bit, I don't know, I'm not saying that was better or not, it's just different, you know, it's just different.
Yeah. That's true.
But, like, I don't know.
We as a society have just gotten freakier. Is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm
Como
hearing.
que ahora no les da vergüenza muchas cosas.
Eso sí.
Como que antes sí te daba pena.
Eso sí.
Muchas cosas y ahora no. No sé, a lo mejor podemos decir que ahora, las personas se sienten más seguras con su cuerpo, o que no te da vergüenza. Pero antes no era así.
Yeah.
Era diferente.
That's true.
Era diferente.
Vamos a hacer rapid questions.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever spent money on? And how much?
The dumbest.
I can think of the dumbest thing I've ever spent money on.
I know.
And I will not be saying
I
it.
know, I know that
I will
one.
not
Oh my God.
Oh.
You know what, Nelia? I don't know. I mean, I never spend money like in like stupid stuff.
Mhm.
As you know, and all the family know, I love jewelry, regardless, gold, silver, wood, plastic. I don't know, maybe just spending money on jewelry, but I never got anything like expensive that it's dummy, like never. I
Really?
don't know.
That's like stupid.
No.
Okay. Mami, ¿piensas que esta generación es muy soft?
O sea, muy blanda.
Muy blanda.
¿A qué te refieres con muy blanda? ¿Te refieres a de que les afectan las cosas mucho? Definitivamente es muy blanda. Definitivamente, no tengo la menor duda de que esta generación es muy blanda.
Gen Z.
Cuando tenías algún problema, a lo mejor llorabas un ratito, pero buscabas cómo lo arreglo. Ok, mis papás no tienen trabajo, no me pueden pagar la escuela. Bueno, pues me meto a trabajar. ¿Pero en qué voy a trabajar? En lo que sea. ¿En qué? En lo que sea. Buscabas más soluciones. Y yo siento que esta generación, es mi opinión personal, no busca soluciones. Yo siento que se esconden, no todos, muchos, detrás de una imagen de ser víctima. Soy una víctima porque mis papás no me pueden dar preparación para ir a la escuela, o soy víctima. Yo siento que se victimiza mucho esta generación en lugar de salir adelante y buscar las maneras de pues de cómo lograr lo que quieres lograr. ¿Me explico?
Como dijo la Kim, some of you just don't work. Some of you need to get up and work. Y'all aren't working. That's what you just said, Mom. That's joking. I'm joking. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No.
You did not at all. But no, I agree. What do you think? I definitely agree that I feel like I can say this for my own generation. I feel like we're very lazy. Like, it's like a lazy generation. Just like, I feel like we've been so exposed to technology and just, not like our parents. There's a lot of people that do work really hard, but I don't know. I've noticed that Gen Z can be a little lazy. And I say that myself because I myself sometimes am lazy, and I don't know, it was different.
Y lo que pasa tiene mucho que ver también de que hay muchos jóvenes, gracias a Dios, que no han pasado por situaciones difíciles en la vida porque han tenido unos papás que ya trabajaron para poderles dar lo que necesitan. Yo tengo una compañera de trabajo que la amo con toda el alma. Se vino de México a Estados Unidos. Ella recogía chile en México y no quiso ese futuro para sus hermanos. Se vino a Estados Unidos y a todos les dio educación, siendo ella la hermana mayor.
No.
Entonces, dices tú, ¿cómo? O sea, ¿cómo? Porque muchas veces cuando tienes necesidad, te hace salir adelante.
Sí.
Cuando lo necesitas, ¿qué haces? Buscas la manera para hacerlo. Pero, por ejemplo, hay muchos jóvenes que, gracias a Dios, no tienen necesidad económica y no valoran. Pero nada más hay que acordarse de una cosa. Todo lo que puedan tener ahorita, ya sea en cuestión material o económico, alguna persona ya lo trabajó en el pasado.
Sí.
Alguien ya trabajó ese dinero que ahorita se está disfrutando.
Yeah. You are perfectly clear. Anyways, okay, hold on. These were supposed to be my fast round questions. So we have to do fast responses, okay? Because
like shorter
responses. Because these are all random. All right, ready?
Sí.
Who was your favorite one of my boyfriends?
¿Puedo decir el nombre o no? ¿O no?
Moving on. Who's your favorite one of my friends? All of my friends.
Minariana.
Me too. Okay. How do you feel about my Spanish?
Me encanta escucharte hablar español.
¿Neta?
Me encanta.
Es porque me da vergüenza hablar porque siento que me clavo mucho y como que para pensarme, I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, what do I say? Tuve una entrevista. Hice una entrevista y como broma le dije a la que me estaba entrevistando, le dije, ¿hablamos en español? Porque la entrevista era con InStyle México. Entonces, cuando entré la llamada, vi que era bien mexa y se llamaba María Fernanda. Y yo conozco a una María Fernanda en mi vida, mi vecina, mi besi. Y Y entro en la llamada y le digo, hablamos en español, y ella se emociona toda, porque siento que los hispanos cuando alguien les habla en español se emocionan.
Sí, lo
de
que
que
pasa
se
es que
ven.
se siente muy bonito.
Yeah.
Y yo siempre doy este ejemplo, me voy a escuchar medio loca, pero por ejemplo, cuando yo escuchaba en entrevistas a Will Smith hablando en español, o sea, a mí ni me gustaba, o sea, veía yo sus películas, pero después de que lo escuchaba, decía yo, qué padre, o sea, está intentando hablar, está tratando de acomodarse, de decir algunas palabritas, me explico, o sea, como que te sientes aludido de que alguien más esté hablando.
Yeah.
Y por ejemplo, a mí, tú y yo hablamos por español muchísimos años. O sea, toda tu niñez era español y español y
No,
español
ya sé.
siempre.
Y sé que es porque algunas veces cuando no platicamos en mucho tiempo, como que I feel like I have to like grease up my wheels a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Sí.
Like I need to like talk and then I also feel more comfortable telling you. But yeah, I feel like I'll forget, but I have it like deep down programmed. But anyways, so I had an interview with someone from In Style Mexico, and as a joke I was like, let's talk Spanish, and she was like, I'm down. And so she got excited, and so we started talking. Like she asked me the first question in Spanish, and the first one was like something simple. It was like, what's your favorite color? Not like something super. And I was like, azul. And it was like chill, and then she asked me like a super profound, like deep question about fashion and just like how I got on the internet. Y yo like,
okay, so I have a question
no
for you.
sabía.
It was the actual question,
No sabía.
or it was because she was speaking fast? Because we tend to do that.
No,
Like in Spanish.
en español, habla en español, las dos. Porque cuando tú hablas inglés y yo español, y yo inglés y tú español, se confunden.
Bueno, la pregunta que te estaba haciendo, ¿era una pregunta difícil para contestar? ¿O la pregunta te la hizo muy rápido? Porque los hispanos tendemos a hablar muy rápido nuestro idioma. O sea, cuando estás hablando en español puedes estar diciendo 1000 cosas por segundo y la gente del otro lado que no habla español se te queda viendo así como que espérate, háblame más despacito porque no te entiendo.
No, ¿sabes qué?
Ese es un ejemplo,
creo
¿sabes?
que más bien era como me hizo la pregunta. Era la pregunta porque, o sea, usó palabras así súper grandes y como que no sabía cómo decir mi respuesta. O sea,
bueno,
porque yo no tengo el vocabulario muy extenso.
Te quedó bien padre. Bueno, a raíz de esa entrevista que le hicieron a Nay, le digo, mijita, vamos a tenernos que poner a leer en español. O sea,
me compró un libro.
Vamos a hacer esto. Te voy a comprar un libro.
El Principito.
Sí. Le dije, vamos a comprarte un libro. Yo lo compro también. Lo leemos cada quien en su casa. En la noche nos conectamos en una llamada y platicamos sobre el libro. Entonces tengo una amiga que es inteligente, bella, le mando un texto, Gina, necesito comprarle a Ana y Lea un libro en español. Me dice, pues vamos a empezar con
El Principito. You guys, what we're saying is that my mom wants me to start reading in Spanish so that my vocabulary in Spanish like expands and I don't forget the language. And so she was like, we got to start reading in Spanish. So she ordered me a book on Amazon called El Principito, and it's literally like a first level reading, like first, like the most basic, like I think pre-K kids read El Principito, and I'm reading it, and it's the way that I read the first page, and I sent my mom a photo, and I was like, I don't know what this says.
Lo que pasa es que el libro,
I don't know.
What happened is you know, it's like a classic book, and where you can go ahead and, you know, start and reading, and so I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Ándale.
Do you like my profession? And that's the team.
I do like your profession, but like I was mentioning to you before, it was my dream, not yours.
Oh my God. Okay, no, we're not gonna do this right now.
It was my dream.
No.
Not yours.
No, Mom. She just wants. Okay. Shh.
Yeah. Why? No, you know.
No.
This is the circle of friends.
Why did I?
I want her to go to
No, Mama.
I do like it.
Okay, I like it too.
I never expected you to become, you know, like a YouTuber or anything like that, or managing a podcast. I don't know. And, you know, I don't know, like, from in which second everything happened. I just remember
No,
you like
tampoco.
finishing like high school, and then I am moving to LA, and I was like, what? But yes, I do like it. I never expected you to be like,
Yeah.
in this type of business, but yeah, like
Okay.
it.
Who do you want me to end up with?
With a smart, patient guy, that can, have as a priority his family, good brother, good son. Because if that person will have the capability to be a good son, a good brother, definitely he can give you like a better way of life. I am not talking about money wise. I'm just talking about that I would like to see you with a nice guy, good personality. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
With a guy with a great personality,
Yeah.
easygoing,
Yeah.
full of patience.
Just emphasis on the patience. Yeah. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Well, we'll see, Mom. We'll see how that turns out. Anyways, I was gonna say, going back to it, I feel like
What? ¿Qué? ¿Qué?
no sé, la verdad, se me olvidó. No sé lo que iba a decir. Iba a decir, que sí, que going back to it, mi mamá, su sueño más grande, my mom's biggest dream is for me to go to college. But honestly, that's kind of the tea, because you're a foreign parent. Like, as a foreign parent, that's also just, like, expected. I feel like all of my friends with foreign parents are like, yeah, we migrated to the United States and we want you to finish school.
No, it's about keeping like educating yourself.
And I love learning.
Back in the day, you need to go to college for you to be having a good job and for you to be able to support your family. Back in the day, I know right now in this new modern world, it's different. You don't have to go to college to get a good job.
Yeah.
But it's about like you showing commitment. It's about educating yourself. I don't know. It's that piece of paper sometimes give you way more value. Unfortunately. But if that was my dream, and yes, as a foreign parent, in my mind, it's like, okay, like for me to come to the US and then finish my master's degree, it was something really, really big. I remember that when I went to the post office just to keep up to get my diploma, Nailea, I think she was like probably around 12 years or 13, and I was like crying and crying when I was just taking off the big envelope, my diploma, right? And she was like, why are you crying? It's just a diploma. But in my mind was like, oh my God, probably for you guys, thank God, to do an essay, it will be taking you an hour or less than an hour. Depends on how many words you need to utilize for that specific essay. But for me, with totally different like language, using Google, try to put everything together, I was investing so much time. So in my mind back then, I was like, if I have the capability to be going to college and have a master's degree, why not my daughter will be going to college,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but
we'll see what the future holds.
We'll see. But you know what? But now, like as a parent, I think we need to focus as well and what makes you happy.
Yeah, it's not your dream, Dad.
Exactly.
Wait, no, it's not my dream, Dad. It's yours.
Yeah, that was me. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
With who?
Contigo.
Oh.
No, contigo. O sea, yo decía, mi sueño es que mi hija vaya a UTEP y termine la escuela ahí, y ya me veía yo llore y llore cuando ibas caminando para que te entregaran tu diploma. Pero más que nada, mientras tengamos buenos hijos, yo pienso que los padres también nos debemos de enfocar en qué es lo que te hace feliz. ¿Me explico? Si tú eres feliz en este tipo de mercadotecnia, en este tipo de trabajo, ¿por qué no? O sea, darte el apoyo que te mereces. ¿Me explico?
Yeah. Oh,
Sí, y
mommy.
sobre todo que yo te veo contenta. Y
Oh.
eso es muy importante.
Yeah.
Eso es muy importante. Cuando ves a que tus hijos están contentos, aunque digas tú, ay, me hubiera gustado que hiciera esto o aquello, ves a tus hijos contentos y te sientes satisfecho.
That was beautiful, Mom. That was such a mom wise speech.
Ay.
You did. That was amazing, Mommy. Pues bueno, pues te dije que si tú tenías algunas preguntas, te dije, mami, haz una lista de preguntas porque yo te tengo algunas preguntas. Creo que ya te hice todas.
Ok.
Se me hace que ya te las pregunté todas y ya, perrota, ya las contestaste todas.
Ay, gracias a Dios.
Dije, bueno, tengo aquí, ¿te gusta mi profesión?
Sí.
¿Cuál era el favorito de mis novios? ¿Cuál era el least favorito de mis novios?
Sí, ya sé cuál.
Ok. ¿Por qué una niña? Quick answer. ¿Por qué one kid? Why one only child?
You know what? I always wanted it like to have two, like girls. And then in my mind was like, okay, I'm going to have two girls, Nailea and Navila. I was like, Nailea and Navila, you know, two girls. But I don't know,
I've heard of Navila my entire life.
Yeah.
Literally, Navila practically exists because it's the way that I've known about Navila, my sister, since I was like 6 years old. But yeah, so one kid was. How many would you want? What's your max? What was your max for
two.
kid? Really?
Yeah.
Does
only
like
two.
I don't even
Yeah.
I have I don't know, whatever.
What?
Anyways, moving on. I asked you the dumbest thing you've ever spent money on. You haven't spent a
No.
single penny because you are responsible with your money.
No.
You are. Was raising me
Was
hard?
It was hard, but not because of you or your personality. It was hard because it was just you and I, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like all my family was like in Mexico. My family, my mom, my sister, my dad. It was just Nailea and I in the U.S. And yes, as you guys know, we used to. Well, I still live in El Paso, but it's if you say okay, it's just 30 minutes from El Paso to Juarez, but it's a totally different country, a totally different manners, customs, language.
Yeah.
You know, totally different. And then being as a single mom with one kid, 2 years old. She was 2 years old. It was hard, you know, because as an adult, you might know, you know, mortgage pay, like bills, gas, you know, daycare, because she grew up in daycare.
Sí.
So it was hard on that sense. But I never have issues or problems with you that, you know, you're not listening and you're like...
Pues tú me dabas carrilla cuando estaba chiquita. ¿Para qué dices que
Sí,
no,
sí,
chata? ¿Para qué dices que no?
sí.
Siempre me decías, Naila, despiértate. Naila, a limpiar. Nay. Ay, tienes un desmadre. Tienes un desmadre en la recámara. Ay, ni puedo caminar.
Mi amor.
Bueno,
¿Era verdad?
Pero yo
Sí,
era buena
verdad.
y me dices, no obedeces. Sí obedecía.
No obedecías. Obedecer para mí es de que pásame el
¿Churro
celular.
o yo obedecía más?
A churro.
¡No!
Sí.
¡No!
Sí.
I listen more.
No, Arturo.
Really?
Sí.
Mami, has it ever come?
Pero es que no les has dicho quién es Arturo.
Oh, Arturo, ladies and gentlemen, was my baby cousin that my mom and I like fostered. We fostered him for a little bit, basically. He lived with us for like 3 years. And he is just like, he's just so like sweet with the ladies. He knows how to charm the ladies.
Yes.
And he was really charming with my mom. And so I was saying who was more obedient, me or Churro. And my mom said Churro.
Yes.
But I feel like I was.
Lo que pasa es que contigo era cuando tú querías hacerlo. Por ejemplo, Nailea, pásame el celular. Ok.
And that's my trait. That is a
O
bad
sea, en lugar
habit
de
of
que
mine.
pásame el celular, Aquí está el celular.
Sí,
O sea,
sí.
como que tú te tomas tu tiempo, como que sí, pero me voy a tomar mi tiempo.
Sí, sabes que he estado pensando en eso y siento que así soy. Siento que tengo que hacer las cosas en mi tiempo. Hasta, o sea, estaba pensando de la escuela, estaba pensando de, o sea, cosas que he querido hacer. Yo siempre he sido alguien que las voy a hacer y las puedo hacer, pero a mi tiempo. And I'm gonna learn my way and do it at my
Cuando
pace.
tú te sientas como que ya preparada para eso. Bueno, pero
Sí.
eso es algo diferente. Estamos hablando de obediencia.
No, también, ya sé y también batallo con eso, la obediencia. Siento que es porque, no sé, siento que I'm like, it just like goes through one ear and out the other. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
What?
I don't know. I can't be tamed.
Si algún día tienes hijos y eso te pasa, te vas a dar cuenta de lo que es obediencia. Porque sí es un poquito frustrante. O sea, tú como papá estás tratando de hacer el trabajo, estás tratando de que todo fluya y...
Es porque no sé por qué. No sé por qué. Siento que es porque tengo yo algo en la mente. O sea, obviamente no tengo ADD, pero ¿cómo puede ser que soy tan desmadre así?
No, no eres desmadre. No eres desmadre. O sea, no sé. O sea, no eres de las que actúa en el instante.
No.
O al menos a lo mejor. Pero, por ejemplo, yo he visto muchas cosas en tu vida en las cuales has ido mejorando desde que vives sola.
Ya sé, he estado aprendiendo un churro de cosas. Es porque siento que es así crecer.
Sí, definitivamente. Y aparte, estar en una ciudad completamente diferente, en donde tienes que estar al pendiente y activa de las cosas que estás haciendo, porque pues al final de cuentas sabes que ahí no está mamá para ayudarte, me explico, para salir corriendo si es que se necesita.
Sí, yeah.
Pero sí he visto muchos cambios en ti.
Yeah. ¿Qué le dijeras a Melisita de 20 años? ¿Qué le dijeras? What would be your piece of advice for younger you?
To be patient, to have patience in life.
Yes.
Because sometimes I was trying to move so fast that I was not thinking right.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so you need to be patient, if like, for example, if you're going to college, just don't try to finish everything like rápido, let's go ahead and just finish everything soon. Just, taking your time and enjoy what you're doing. And then to have a plan in life.
To have a plan? Really? You didn't have a plan? I feel like
I didn't have a plan.
I feel like you've done very well without a plan.
Thank God.
Wow.
Have a plan. And I can give you guys that piece of advice.
Did you feel like you were just kind of floating?
Yes. I always describe myself like a little boat in the middle of the ocean, just waiting for, the water to take me from one side to another and for me to try to survive. But I never like have in my mind like a clear direction about this is what I want to do and this is the way that I am going to be accomplished. So that is why with you all the time I am very big about that. Think, Nailea. Think what you want to do. All the advices that I always give you, it's because I didn't have that piece of advice, and thank God, everything worked in my end. But definitely if I have it, like if I don't know, planned my life, it will be like way better.
Yeah, but you have a beautiful life.
Yeah,
you've
I do.
Also done so
I do.
Amazing. Like you are the best person to look up to. Like I feel like you're like
thank you.
You truly are my inspiration and my role model in my day to day. And yeah, that I just like sit and think of all of the things that you've accomplished, and I'm like, oh my God, like you feel an urge to do, like reach that level or more as a daughter, So like I want to succeed and do well because I'm like, my mom did all of this on her own. That's crazy.
Thank you.
And I was like, estaba escuchando tu inglés el otro día, estabas hablando con un cliente. Yo no manches, o sea, hablas perfecto.
Ay, mi reina,
se te
gracias.
entiende perfecto.
De veras.
Y cómo, o sea, cómo es que o sea, te cambiaste a un país sin saber cómo hablar el idioma.
Nada, no hablaba nada.
Yo me imagino, o sea, ir a un país que, no sé, algún
Bélgica.
lado, ajá, África o China, yo no supiera cómo, o sea, especially have a job and like communicate. I don't know how you did it, Mom.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I remember that when we moved, I was just like watching, and I think everyone does this type of thing, just watching like a movie in English with the subtitles in English for me to be reading, what the actor or actress was like saying. And then I took a couple of classes in the community college Valle Verde, a couple of them, and then a couple of classes at UTEP. But then most than anything, I think just to speak English in my work, like on to day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
and that it's why when you started going to elementary, I was like, no, I want her to be like taking all the classes in English,
Yeah.
because I don't want her to be struggling like the way that I was a struggle,
Yeah.
And most than anything, it's sad, but it's the people who make fun of you, I remember that I was already
discouraging.
like, yes, like I was already working on my career, and then yes, I was just saying words like wrong, and then people laughing or making fun of me. But when someone is laughing about, you're here so cute, or you're saying that so cute, it's not like this, it's like that, or people that is just making fun of you.
Yeah, there's a difference between someone teasing and like
Exactly.
lovingly and someone making fun of
Yes,
you. Like,
yes.
yeah. I know it is discouraging, and I feel like a lot of people like will relate to what you were saying about that.
And in my mind, I was like always thinking about, I am the one who is moving to the US. It's my obligation to learn the language, because I am the one who's moving here. I need to learn the language, the customs, manners and everything, because I am the one who is moving here.
Yeah.
And it's respect. Okay, you want to live in this country? Well, at least you need to speak the language,
Yeah,
right?
but also like it's not like even though like you feel like you have to learn the language because you're coming to like this place, like people should respect that you're trying and putting in an effort. Like
I have a saying: I might not like you, I might not want to work with you, but I need to respect you. And say, it works both ways. You might not like me, but you need to respect me.
Yeah.
And it's a huge difference. I might not being like in the same page as you. I don't know, regarding a XYZ topic, but I need to respect you.
Yeah. Entonces, you would say your advice for younger you is to be present, enjoy being young,
Yes.
and to have a plan.
To have a plan.
To have some sort of like when I'm older I want this.
Yes.
To imagine, to want more for yourself.
And then it is valid that along the way you're making changes. Oh, okay, my plan is to do this, but if you're in the middle of the road and then for any reason you desire to do like something else, it's valid for you to be making changes and twist. But always have your goal in mind about what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then let me tell you something. When I was growing up, Nailea, I think I don't know if I told you this before, but I was so unconscious about myself. Self-conscious about myself. I was like, oh my God, I am so fat.
You didn't want to wear a bikini?
Never. Yeah, because my best friend at the time in middle school, Anna, she was like a model, like all slim, super beautiful. And I was never like super thin like you. You're like that because it's your dad genes. Your dad was like always super skinny, you know. But in my case, I was not heavy, but I was never like thin. And then I was like, oh no, my eyebrows are so big, and my
so
eyes,
beautiful. That's like what people like compliment you on the most.
Oh, thank you. But back on the day, I was like, like
self-conscious.
Yeah.
I've heard you say. My mom's always like, I wish I could have worn more bikinis when I was younger. Like, I wish I would have more, like, ran around in bikinis. Like, why didn't I do that more? And we need to get you a proper bikini. Look at that squirrel, Mom. Squirrel!
Ay, sí es cierto.
¿Qué te iba a decir? Oye, no sé por qué. I feel like now more and more, I don't know what it is, but I feel like in this generation, like, it's become so normalized. I don't know if it was like this for you, like when you were growing up, or I don't know, in your 20s, but I feel like people, like, anorexia, como que muchas niñas o sea, están haciendo mucho daño para estar flaquitas. Están tomándose no sé si se dice así bien.
Sí.
But there's a lot of girls, like, taking diabetic drugs at my age to get skinny, and, like, people's, like, eating disorders, I feel like, are so big, starving themselves, like, I don't know why it's such a thing, and I feel like it's been so, like, normalized. Like, people talk about it left and right, like, oh yeah, like, I have an eating disorder, or, like, I took, like, a diabetic drug, and I'm just, like, a part of me, like, appreciates the vulnerability, you know, of being able to open up and say that you have that, but also I'm like, why is anyone normalizing that? And I don't know that if they're normalizing it, but just, like, speaking about it so publicly, to me, I feel like it's become a trend online. It's gone from, like, speaking about something to, like, it being trendy, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's just, like, so damaging.
Yeah, and you know what? Now, like, probably back on the day, you know, people was not feeling comfortable with their body, or stuff like that. But the access to be getting, like, drugs over the counter, or, like you said right now, diabetic drugs or whatever, it was not a thing back on the day. You know, it was not that, like, quick access, or probably it was not
Dilo en
like
español.
Antes, por ejemplo, que estabas poquito pasada de peso, que no te sentías a gusto, no era algo de que, ay, voy a la farmacia a comprar pastillas para bajar de peso, o, ay, me voy a comprar unas inyecciones para gente diabética para poder bajar de peso. O sea, antes no era así. ¿Me explico cómo? Antes no era así. Y algo que yo he analizado, por ejemplo, porque lo hago con mi mamá. O sea, tú a mi mamá le dices, mamá, estoy a dieta. Mal, muy mal. Te
¿Neta?
hambreas mucho, te va a doler la cabeza y te puedes morir y vas a dejar a esa niña sola.
No manches.
Sí, o sea, mi mamá sí. Pero ahora lo que debemos de entender es que la palabra dieta significa comer bien. Tienes restricciones, pero las restricciones son cosas que sabes que no son algo para tu cuerpo que va a dejar algún tipo de vitamina, de mineral. Me explico, alguien escuchas a alguien de que estoy a dieta, inmediatamente tu mente piensa de que no está comiendo nada. Y no, estar a dieta es tomar buenas decisiones. Me explico, pues tengo mucha hambre, tengo una bolsa de papitas, pero tengo una manzana, se me antojan las papitas, pero me debo de comer la manzana. ¿Me explico?
Sí, siento que, no sé, como que the, like, beauty is just, like, so intense nowadays. That kind of leads me into my next question that I wanted to ask you.
A ver.
And then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
We're almost done, but I just wanted to also pick your brain on how you feel about, like, celebrity plastic surgery in general.
I will say...
Are you, like, against it or for it? Pro?
No, I'm not against it, of course. You know, if there is something that you're not comfortable with and you can do something about it, it's nice. But I think, I don't know, for me it's
Me gusta
just
cuando hablas en español.
¿Te gusta cuando hablo en español? Sí. Estoy a favor de que las personas quieran hacerse algún tipo de arreglo en su cara. Si por algún motivo no te sientes a gusto con tu forma de naricita, o con tus ojitos, o que estás viendo imperfecciones en tu cara, si tienes el poder económico para hacerlo, ¿por qué no? Si vas a sentirte muchísimo mejor, ¿por qué no?
Sí.
Lo que no estoy de acuerdo es con los excesos. Por ejemplo, yo en lo personal, yo quiero envejecer bonita.
Sí.
O sea, yo quiero que digan, ay, mira, está viejita, pero se ve bonita viejita.
Sí.
¿Me explico?
Ajá.
O sea, sí, por ejemplo, ahorita me puedo poner algún arreglo o algo para que no se me hagan, por ejemplo, arrugas muy fuertes, para que aguante otro par de años sin la arruga tan marcada, pues qué padre, me explico. Pero yo pienso que cada uno de nosotros debemos de disfrutar las edades conforme las vamos teniendo. ¿Me explico?
Sí.
Tú ahorita estás, por ejemplo, en tus 20 y yo siempre te lo digo, no te hagas nada.
Sí, ya sé, siempre
Estás preciosa. O sea, conserva tu naturalidad, la forma en la que estás naturalmente, tu color natural de cabello, consérvalo lo más que puedas, porque eventualmente
vas a tener que, o sea,
pintártelo, porque pues la canita ahí te hace ver más grande y a lo mejor no
canita.
¿Me explico? Traes ahí la canita y siempre hay una cana que es la que más se te para y dices tú, ay, caramba. Pero pues consérvate lo más natural que puedas. Si hay algún aspecto de tu cuerpo que no te gusta, pues salte a correr, echarle el ejercicito.
Oye, de hecho, siento que tú eres, o sea, eres una mujer muy confidente.
No. Segura.
No, eso no es la palabra. ¿Es segura? ¿Segura? Eres una mujer muy segura. Siento que, o sea, me inspiras en ese sentido. Siempre que caminas, o sea, tú sabes que eres la más hermosa del cuarto, de la recámara, whatever, del place.
Yo tengo mucha confianza en mi persona.
Confianza, sí. ¿Cómo?
Pues,
danos
no sé.
tips de confianza.
De confianza.
Porque siento que este año, o sea, realmente siento que yo soy una persona que tiene confianza. Pero hay gente así como tú y como la Rihanna que danos tips.
Sí, pues no sé, yo siempre trato de andar arreglada. Yo siempre, muy pocas veces me vas a ver que no ande arreglada. Por ejemplo,
cansado.
Ay, qué cansado.
Qué cansado. Ser tan bonita.
Todos los días. Pero yo salgo de la casa para irme a trabajar y me voy bien arreglada. Con mi cabello, mi joyería de plástico, de plata, de lo que sea, mis uñitas arregladas. Tengo una muy buena amiga que una vez me dijo, un día que te dejes de arreglar, un beso a la Lore Mora, un día que te dejas de arreglar, es un día, amiga, que desperdicias de belleza. Y es verdad, me refiero a lo que sea tu belleza, lo que tú tengas de imagen de belleza, es un día que se desperdicia. Y sí es cierto.
Tú eres tan... tienes una belleza tan natural de que hasta que cuando estoy contigo quiero vestirme como tú, quiero pintarme como tú, quiero ponerme la joyería como tú. O sea, realmente en las películas es cuando ves así las niñas copiándoles a su mamá. Yo soy así contigo. Siento que siempre quiero verme como tú porque you just have such a natural beauty that like radiates. Everyone always says that. You're like, oh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Siempre te dicen.
Muchas gracias. Hagan eso, niños, niñas. Todos los días bien arregladitos, su cabello bonito arreglado, sus uñitas, la pestañita, traten de andar planchados esta generación, que no les gusta planchar ropa.
Who even irons anymore, girl?
Me.
Yeah, you still iron. It's true.
No sé, nada más siéntanse, claro, siempre van a haber aspectos de tu cuerpo, de tu imagen que no te gustan, pero pues bueno, tienes dos maneras de sufrir. O sufres de la manera en la que estoy poquita pasada de peso o estoy demasiado delgada, sufro no haciendo nada y me quedo así, o sufres haciendo algo, comiendo bien, yendo al gimnasio. O sea, para mí esas dos son las maneras de sufrir. Tú escoges de cuál sufrir. Y siempre que vayas a un lugar, bueno, yo soy muy de modales. Yo soy muy de modales, de buenas tardes, buenas noches, con permiso. No sé, ¿sabes de qué? Eso lo heredé de tu abuelita. Mi mamá, sí, olvídate. Mi mamá siempre. Y estábamos comiendo con los codos en la mesa y baja los codos de la mesa. No se suben los codos a la mesa. O bueno, cierra la boca. No estés comiendo con la boca llena. O cuando tú que estabas chiquita que traías a lo mejor un juguito que te gustaba y...
What happened? What's going on? Mami.
Por estar de payaso chupándole el popote.
No.
Que le chupabas al popote, ¿no? Audiencia, perdón.
Oye.
Se le corta
sí,
ese pedazo.
Sí, te lo corto. Oye, qué cura que en social media, o sea... se siente que obviamente cuando estás con diferentes personas te presentas diferente, ¿sabes?
Sí,
Como cuando
ajá.
yo estoy con mi mamá, o sea, de que, ay mami, me hago chiple.
Sí.
Cuando estoy con mis amigas, de que me actúan en una manera. Cuando estoy con gente que quiero impresionar, otra manera. O sea, qué raro que en social media la gente te percibe, o sea, y
Mi amor, es que
se me hace tan raro
es que antes la gente éramos muy tonta. Antes la gente nos creíamos todo lo que veíamos y nos creíamos todo lo que escuchábamos. Y eso es algo que me encanta de esta generación. Eso es algo que me encanta. Que que ya están más conscientes de que ya sabes de que si alguien te está contando mentirita, es mentira, ¿me explico?
No te entiendo. Si alguien te está contando mentirita, ¿es mentira?
O sea, a lo que me refiero es de que yo pienso que esta generación es más sensible siempre hay algo bueno y algo malo, ¿verdad? Pero a lo que voy es de que ahora no es tan fácil engañar a la gente como a lo mejor lo era antes.
Sí, y yo quiero engañar a la gente, porque no manches. O sea, yo ayer le estaba diciendo a mi mamá, I wish that there was like a filter on, like, I wish quisiera que hubiera un filtro en que what you're showing different people. ¿Qué le estás enseñando a quién? O sea, un filtro. Deja, esto se lo enseñó mi mamá. Una foto así bien cute. Y esta foto se lo enseñé a mis amigas. O sea, estoy de whatever, pendeja. Este se lo enseñó a mi crush. O sea, siento que I'm like, I feel like I'm perceived so many different ways online, and I'm like, I don't know what people think of me.
No, pero that is why I always
I'm
tell
like,
you, just be you all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
With your family,
You know what that
with your
might
friends.
be? That might be people pleasing. I don't know, because I feel like I show different versions of myself to different people. So when I'm posting on social media, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want you to see this version of myself. Is that crazy? Is that crazy?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not crazy. You know?
Is that just me?
No.
Really?
You know, for example, with when I am at work, like with my coworkers or my boss, I'm not gonna be silly. You know, like saying
I was
I
thinking,
am silly with them, but like more respectful with my manager, for example, or my director. You know.
Yeah.
But
I thought I was crazy for a second.
No. You better advice ever is just be you all the time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mom.
Be you all the time.
And if they don't accept,
be humble all the time. All the time.
Ay, qué tonta.
Pero se nos salió al mismo tiempo, all the time. Me parecía que estábamos sincronizadas.
Bueno, siento que hemos hablado de muchas cosas, mami. We've been all over the place.
Sí.
We've talked about everything.
Sí.
It was a little bit chaotic, but I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Mommy, for being on.
It's an honor for me to be your first guest. Thank you so much.
But wouldn't have had it any other way.
Let
You
me
were the
tell
best
you.
first guest.
Oh, thank you. But most than anything, thank you guys for watching my daughter's podcast and videos.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I'm holding it. I remember that I used to tell Nailea back on the day.
No.
Sí.
I'm embarrassed. No, I'm embarrassed.
Nailea, es que yo quisiera tener tu edad para ser tu amiga.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No.
I thought you were gonna say something embarrassing.
No, de que yo siempre te ¿a poco no te digo?
Sí.
Híjole, es que por ejemplo, cuando salías con las niñas en la prepa, que ibas con Mina, con Hija, que salías con ellas, yo así como que, ay, qué padre, yo quiero tener tu edad porque yo quiero salir contigo, y yo siempre te lo he dicho, a mí me hubiera encantado haber tenido tu misma edad, para haber sido tu amiga.
Ay, mami.
Yo siempre te lo he dicho.
Siempre me lo has dicho.
Sí,
yo también. We would have been a crazy duo,
Yeah,
Mom.
you're so funny.
You're so funny.
No, you are.
Oye, I was thinking about it. I was like, I get that from you, Mom. We're just goofy.
Yeah, let me
We're
tell
just
you
kind of dumb.
something.
Like,
My friend Nayeli, my friend Nayeli, she tells me that. Nayeli, te mando un beso, amiga. Pero no sé, a lo mejor puede ser que sí, las dos hubiéramos sido Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, we have we've talked about everything under the sun. Gracias por venir, mami. Gracias por hablar conmigo. Y para estar en el show y por ser mi primer guest, el mejor guest.
Ay, muchas gracias.
Te amo, Madre
a ti
Santa.
por invitarme.
No hay algo. Is there anything else you wanna say?
No, nothing else to add. Just guys, take care of yourself. Keep on moving forward in life. Go to college.
Oh. It's
no,
true.
I'm kidding. No, just keep on moving forward in life. Don't get in your comfortable comfort zone. Just keep on moving forward and be good. Be good with your parents. I promise you, everything comes around. Everything
comes around.
So
this was some like mom bonding, like us being silly, but also I feel like this was a very. I feel like if I were to watch this, I would feel nurtured because you are a very nurturing spirit.
Oh, thank you.
You are.
Ay, mi rey
Es como eres una de esas personas que like you were just like meant to be a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like you just care for people. But
yes,
anyways, it was so. Thank you so
you.
much for being on this, mommy. I love you.
I love you too.
I lost my podcast guest virginity.
Yeah. Oh well, that's okay.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.